All right.
All right, everybody, welcome to the 91 Day Business Spotlight Live. I am really excited today to have a new associate of mine that I've recently met and have him join us today. Azar from RepStack's with us today, and we're going to talk a little bit about RepStack, what they do, and who they serve. So, Azar, thank you for taking the time to join us today. Tell me a little bit, I know about RepStack, obviously, but tell me, the audience, a little bit about RepStack and who you guys serve.
Thanks for having me on the show, Jonathan. It's an absolute pleasure. Love what you're doing here. RepStack, at RepStack, we place mission driven team members inside marketing agencies, SaaS businesses, and business coaches. And so that's in a nutshell what we do. But mission driven is easier said than done, especially in the global market that we're in right now. So there's obviously lots of intricacies that are involved over here. But we kind of work with agencies and SaaS businesses uh, similar to them who are mostly niche focused. We're also focused on a very specific niche. We don't do everything, but we do specialize in working with these type of businesses. And then when it comes down to the type of associate that we place, we don't place anyone, just anyone as well, Jonathan. We only place in four key roles inside marketing agencies, SaaS businesses, and business coaches. We identified early on that every single business is going to need those four key roles, and those key roles are executive assistants, marketing associates, which is subdivided with in media buyers and CRM experts and SEO content, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then we go into the infamous sales development rep or the appointment setter, and the final role that we place is account managers. So all these four roles, we early on realized that this is like a bread and butter of when you're building out your workforces inside your agencies or SaaS businesses or business coaches. These four roles are going to be there in one form or the other, and we decided to focus on these roles only. We only place a person who's entry level, so they'll have anywhere from 6 months to up to 3 year experiences. But like I said, they're going to be vetted, mission driven, and so what that means is that this is going to be a long term oriented, full time team member that comes on, who can you can give your vision to, and they can turn your vision into a mission, and then continue to grow with your agency. So I guess that's in a nutshell, long nutshell. That's kind of what we do right now.
Well, that's a great overview, and I appreciate that for our audience that's watching and either live or on the replay. So, Azar, I know you and I met through a common coach group that we are both part of, and I know within that group you've got just an amazing reputation for delivering quality people at very fair prices. And I can say from having worked with RepStack, your processes are really amazing. You make that entire hiring process simple, and the management of that person, especially in a global workforce where that employee may not be sitting, in the same city or state or even
Mhm.
country that you're in. Talk to me a little bit about what an agency, a coach, a SAS provider, what could they expect? Maybe this is a new thing to them, or maybe they're looking to expand their staff. If they reach out to RepStack, what would that experience begin to look like for them, Azar, when they start working with you?
Yeah. So when you reach out to us, or even when you have that thought of growing your team, where is what your current journey is, where are you going to start out at? So basically the experience that you're going to get, Jonathan, is going to be very similar to when you go and work with a boutique recruitment agency. Say you're based out of Tampa or Austin or Seattle, and and we kind of go across the board on our research in the local US market. So that's why we picked out Tampa, Austin, Texas, and then
Sure.
Seattle, Washington. Kind of gives us a good spread of across the country. When you're going to be wanting to build out your team, and that's a point usually inside an agency or a SaaS business. By the time you start crossing that $300,000 a year mark, you're going to start looking to hire people. And the obvious thought that comes to mind, Jonathan, that's happened to me in my agency career of 15 years and counting, that the first person that I've always thought of, that as soon as I had some money and I thought that now I'm ready to grow, I always used to think about that appointment setter or that salesperson I want to hire. So, and that turns out that it's probably not the best first hire for people who are in that growth phase. So having a recruitment agency come in as a consultant and kind of what works for other agencies who are doing, like, we have clients who are nine figures, 10 million and above businesses. We have some of the fastest growing private agencies and SaaS businesses in the United States as our customers. So we bring a lot of insights when you sit down with one of our recruiters. And that's what it is. It's not a sales call, it's a recruitment consultation. And, we kind of explain what your options are. We'll also let you know, even if this particular role, like, we may not be the perfect fit for you, because maybe right now you may need to bring in another partner, or you need to bring in a top level person at this point in your journey. So we'll let you know what it looks like. But usually when you sit down with us, we're going to look at the basics, where you're at. One of the first roles that we're going to recommend to an agency owner, especially if they're early on in their journey and they're just starting to build out their team, is going to be an executive assistant. Because as soon as you have that extra capital, what you want to do is you want to take away a lot of your day to day. And an executive assistant is going to just give you a lot of bandwidth to start really, really building out this agency and your team. Because they can take care of a lot of your day to day, like your inboxes, your social medias, a lot of other stuff. Your calendar is it's a big one that's bogs
Absolutely.
us down as entrepreneurs. So that's it's a consultation. We'll walk you through. Again, you may come to us thinking that I need to build a sales team, but the recruitment consultant, that's the key right there. If we are doing our job, we're gonna make sure that we take a look at that. Hey, you wanting to hire this salesperson or a setter, but do you even have the processes to keep this setter busy? If you don't, then we're going to take you one step before, and we're going to say that, hey, maybe you should be working with a marketing associate right now, building out your own internal funnels, your own marketing, and all of that stuff. Because if you don't do that, this SDR is never going to be successful, no matter how hard you try. Because cold calling and all of that stuff, if you think that's going to get it going, it's not going to work. You're going to need some marketing build up before any of these people come in. So we have this consultation. Once we figure out where you are and what your need is, if you already have systems and processes in place, we're going to be able to now let you know that, hey, these are some of the roles that we think you should hire for. And then once we get the approval from our clients, we start shortlisting, and that process is usually really fast. We Unfortunately, in most cases, we do have a wait list of clients, anywhere from 20 to 30 at any given time. We're placing people for. So sometimes it could be a wait list issue. But even with that, within usually 5 to 7 business days, we'd have these people placed. If you have somebody immediately that fits the bill, we're going to have that. So it's a very short turnaround time for a person that we bring to the table. And then all of this process, all the way up till you say yes to onboarding that person inside your team, is completely free of cost. So if you compare us with a local recruitment agency, there's going to be fees and percentages and all of that stuff that you're going to be paying for those recruitment. Even to start out, you're going to have to sign an agreement. There's nothing like that. We've basically turned that process upside down, and we were giving a world-class recruitment service completely free. You can walk away with the clarity that we're giving in our recruitment consultations. And a part of that is building out a customized job descriptions for the roles that you want to hire. You can take those job descriptions and you can hire somebody local in Tampa on Indeed or ZipRecruiter. That's how confident we are in those job descriptions. If you choose to work with us and you're ready to place a global mission driven team member who comes in, who's not going to be a freelancer, that's really, like, if I want to differentiate ourselves, Jonathan, that's the difference that we bring to the table. Because most of the platforms, 99% of the platforms that are out there, even the best ones like TopTel, who are expensive, what they bring to the table is access to freelancing talent. And a freelancer is basically a small business owner who's coming in. He's a like a true contractor who may also have multiple accounts at the same time, who's coming in into your team, and you're hoping that this person is going to be a mission driven person. But that's a, that's a long shot in my opinion, because this person's already, you're looking at the wrong places traditionally. So if you're building out your business and you want people who can like really understand your vision, you would want people who can come in and be mission driven for you. And long term, they're going to have that long term vision. They stay there. Like our, we're a 3 year old business. Our first client and first associate is still in that role, 3 years in. And that's, by the way, for our mutual coach that we share as well. And that role was also an appointment setter, which has now turned into a closer. Over the last 3 years, that person grew from an appointment setter to a closer, and the rest is history on our side. So yeah, so I guess that's the process that looks like. You don't have to pay a penny. You get a lot of clarity just in our consultation process. And when you do decide to work with us, it's as simple as getting a subscription up and running for this mission driven team member that we're going to onboard for you.
Well, there's no doubt that you guys have an amazing process. I've been through it myself, and I know how well that works. I want to just encourage people that if you're in a business and you've thought about, what is my next step? What type of person do I need? Really want to encourage you to reach out to RepStack and their team, because just as Azara says, they do a great job of walking you through not only where you're at as a business, and they're not there to push somebody on you. They're there to try to make sure it's a good fit. And one of the reasons, Azara, that we appreciate RepStack so much is the time and the consistency that your team puts into bringing the right people. And I think that really sets RepStack apart from so many others that we've dealt with in the past. And while they're good people, you guys just have a better system and a better process. And I really think, especially as an agency owner, I think it's so beneficial to deal with somebody that understands the agency world, understands where you're at, just as you've discussed, helping us understand what are some of the next best roles, because you've worked with hundreds of agencies and seen what works. And sometimes our ideas as agency owners don't always match up to that exactly. So I think
Yeah.
that's great. Azar, if people are interested and they're watching either live or on the replay and they want to find out more, what's the best way for them to reach out to RepStack and to begin having a conversation?
Yeah, just simply go to repstack.co. Look us up, check us out on, our reviews. We got over 250 agencies who have reviewed us. And then also take a look at Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a big platform, Jonathan, where, you can kind of gauge how an agency or a business is doing by looking at what their employees are saying about them. So take a look at that as well, like what kind of things that people are saying about us. But repstack.co is where you want to go. Check us out, and there's a strategy session that you can book. We call it recruitment strategy session, and you can book that easily on there. One thing that I'm going to leave your audience with is that as you grow, Jonathan, your agencies, the biggest thing, because we are service providers, like even, it's no different than plumbing and HVAC business, which is a service provider. And all service businesses are always going to be employee heavy businesses. So
Yep.
there's no way around it. The biggest expense you're going to see is going to be your payroll as you continue to grow your business. So, let's have a conversation about that biggest thing, because it's really easy if you can have a set strategy. It's really easy to turn that mostly negative, because most agencies are paying anywhere between 30 to 60% of their revenues in payroll costs right now. And if you're younger, it's going to be higher. So there is definitely room for improvement. There is room to improve your margins while you bring in amazing talent, because the world is now our oyster, so to speak. It always was, but now you have RepStack that you can talk to, especially if you're an agency owner. So let's have that conversation and we can take it from there.
I love that. I appreciate that. And I think that just again demonstrates the value of working with someone like RepStack that understands the agency world and the SAS world and the coaching world to get you the right people. So that's amazing. Zara, I want to thank you for your time today. So grateful that you were able to join us. And if you're watching live or on the replay and you're going, what is this all about? What's Jonathan doing here? This is our 91-day business spotlight live. And for 91 days, and we're about 3 weeks in right now, so we've got about 70 days left, we're highlighting 2 to 3 businesses every single weekday, just like this for 15 minutes. So if you're an entrepreneur and you've got a business and you want to promote that, there's no cost, there's no charge. Just message me. We'll get you the details. We've got about 65 spots left out of the 130 we're doing. So reach out. We'd love to interview you as well. Azar, thank you again. So grateful for you and grateful that we have the opportunity to work together. Have a great day, everybody.